this is Ronnie. Welcome back to our channel Total Technology Zone. This is tutorial 51 and today's topic will be AWS GPT to perform any task on AWS. So AWS GPT is not a tool which is available or which is developed by any open source community. So it's just a custom name I have given. So it is kind of, I developed something just for fun to give you guys some sort of insight on Langchain custom tools or agents, right? So probably let me rephrase this in a different way. So I actually developed a set of custom tool which is actually going to help you to do some operation on AWS, and altogether I'm calling it as AWS GPT. Okay, so don't think that there is some tool available in open source community or forum, so you can go ahead and search it like Google search or somewhere, won't get anything, right? So basically I just created this thing, kind of giving you guys some sort of like fun and interactive way of learning Langchain custom agents and tool. Okay, so what exactly we're gonna do here? So create and read S3 buckets from AWS using Langchain. So using Langchain, okay, and Langchain and obviously OpenAI. Okay, so we'll use Langchain custom tool. Okay, so these are the prerequisite. Boto 3 you have to install and you have to configure AWS. So set up your access ID and secret key. I have already done the steps. Like if you are not familiar with this thing, probably you can just go ahead and search these things from the Google or internet. They will tell you. And this is the slide where you will get the source code link of this thing. So now I'll be just going to stop the slideshow and I'll just start doing everything from the practical standpoint. Okay, so basically if you see, these are my S3 buckets created, and let me go to chat GPT. So first let me explain the problem and then probably I'll be going to tell you what exactly I'm going to do. So maybe if you want to know that how many buckets are there in your S3 bucket. Okay, so can you tell me how, what or can you write down all the bucket names from my AWS? Okay, so I can't directly interact with external system, right? So if you have the AWS command line interface, so this is going to tell you that if you do this thing, this is going to tell you, right? Now let's suppose you are not a technical person or you don't want to do this much of activity, right? So you just need something like in UI, you will write something in a natural language and it will read that and it will directly interact with your S3 bucket or your AWS account. How to do that? So basically that is the thing I am actually going to develop here and I'll be going to show you, and then you will understand what is the power of LLM and the Langchain framework. Okay, so without wasting further, let's start actually working with the code. Okay, so let me open my Jupyter notebook. Sorry, it's not a Jupyter notebook, it's a VS code. Okay, so let's start writing the code. Okay, so first thing, we'll be going to actually import the main modules. Basically we'll be going to use from Langchain. Okay, just hold on, maybe let it be bigger. Okay, so from Langchain OpenAI, import chat OpenAI, like this is the first, and then we'll be going to import the Langchain agent. So from Langchain Langchain, what is that agent? Okay, Langchain dot agents import. So basically we'll have something called initialize agent, and we have to use something called agent type. Okay, so then I'll be going to import the tools from Langchain. Okay, dot tools import tool. Okay, so then I'll be just going to create a Streamlit UI. So we'll see from import Streamlit as st, and last but not least we have to import the Boto 3. So import Boto 3. Okay, so that's it, everything is created. So first we'll be going to create an what I say, so let me actually create an LLM. Okay, so let me start a LLM here actually. So basically my LLM is actually going to be chat OpenAI, right? Then model is going to be GPT-4. Yeah, obviously I'm using a premium model and it's chargeable because I'm like doing some sort of like customization always, and it is better to use some paid model, right? Okay, so this is done. Then another initialization. So let me create something called client, and it is going to be bot3 dot client. So all operations are going to be with S3. So I'll just S3, and S3 is a global service, but you have to actually initialize the client with the region name, or else it is going to give you some error. So region name, and what I'll do, I'm just going to write US hyphen east hyphen 1, right? So if you're going to create S3 bucket creation, then it is required that your client should be like parameterized with this value. For reading it is not required, but for writing or creation it is obviously required, right? So now what we'll do, we'll be just going to initialize our Streamlit UI. So set page config, so basically what exactly we'll be going to do, we'll be going to write something called page title. So maybe I just write AWS, what is this, AWS GPT, okay, something like this. Okay, so then I'll be just going to write st.header. Okay, so in the header what we'll be going to write, so we'll be going to write uh, ask anything related to AWS. Okay, so basically in this tutorial I'll just going to show you guys on how to read from S3, how to read what are the S3 buckets are there, and how to create S3 bucket. But you can make this thing more mature so that it can actually do anything or everything related to AWS. It is obviously possible because underlying thing is Boto3. I'll be going to create multiple custom tool with the help of Boto3. So basically if Boto3 libraries are all like bits and pieces are there in the Boto3 library, right, for all services. So technically you can do anything and everything, right? So it is done. Now we need an input. So basically input is actually going to be st dot text input, and there will be going to write uh, what you want me to do. Okay, this is done. Hopefully let me execute this thing with new terminal. So basically it should be streamlit run. So basically it will open this thing, yeah, and the title is AWS GPT. So like the like base like structure for UI is actually created. Okay, so let's start accordingly. So now what we'll do, we'll just kill the terminal. Okay, and basically clear everything. Okay, so now what we'll do, let's start actually doing the next part. So basically first we'll be going to create couple of tool. Okay, so first tool will be get s3 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 bucket name. Okay, so basically I would like to get some s3 bucket name. So input is going to be there, and like this. So basically how to get the bucket, probably you can just write bucket is going to be this client dot list underscore bucket list buckets. Okay, okay, so then let's do write print bucket. Okay, now what we'll do, I'll just try to run this function and see what I'm getting. So basically get bucket name, I'll just passing something like okay. It's just nothing to worry, it is just going to take a dummy string and do it. So I just want to know it is going to give me the bucket names or not. Okay, so let's see, it is running. So let's see. So I don't know why it is taking some time. Ideally it should not take that much of time, but let's wait. Okay, so this is taking time. I don't know why this is taking time. So hmm, so let's wait for some more time. Okay, so kill the terminal again and let's execute one more time. Terminal, new terminal. So basically uh, let's execute. Yeah, okay, so I got this information. So here, so basically everything is actually part of this thing called buckets. Okay, so basically something called bucket. So let's see. Okay, so basically it's a list, and in the list every name is actually part of this dictionary. So basically what I can do, I can simply write buckets equals to this. So basically we can simply write this. Okay, so let me write this thing. Command C. So basically I don't need this one anymore. So buckets. Now what we'll do, for bucket in buckets, right, then print bucket, and how to get the name. So basically from this name, so basically like this, and let's see. Okay, all three names are coming, right? So basically what I can do here, I just create a dummy list, something like this, and after that I'll just append that name dot append like this. Okay, names dot append like this, and at the end what I'll do, I'll just going to print that. So basically print of names, right? So let's see whether I'm getting a list or not. Okay, I'm getting a list. So basically for function it is going to be, I don't need this thing, so rather than I'm just going to return this thing, return, right? So my first function is ready, right? So my first function is ready for the tool. So basically what I'll do now, I'll just going to create another tool which is actually going to create the bucket. Okay, so this is for reading the bucket. Now I'll be going to do something which is going to create the bucket. So what I'll do, I'll just going to write def. Okay, so create s3 bucket, right? And here also I'll just going to pass a dummy string input, and what I'll do, everything is will be same, right? So basically uh, response is going to be, let's say, client dot create underscore bucket, right? And there in the bucket I'll be just going to pass a bucket name, right? So basically bucket is going to be input. So our LLM is automatically going to parse and send the name from the input. Okay, and now what we'll do, I'll be just going to create something, but let's see. Let's actually try this thing here. So basically what I'll do, okay, so let's try something. So let's call this function first, create bucket, and there I'll be just going to pass some name. So ABC, then test, then hyphen 2024, then LLM. Okay, so basically what we'll do, it is going to print the response. Okay, so now what we'll do, I'll just go and show you here. I have this only three buckets are there, right? So let's see, this bucket will be created after I execute this thing. Okay, okay, so if you see, this bucket is created ABC test, and basically it is coming with this HTTP status code, right? So what I'll do, so response metadata, and this HTTP status code. First check whether I really get this thing or not. Okay, yes, it is created, right? So all fine. So basically I'll just write this, okay, this and HTTP status code, okay, and like this, right? So basically what I'll do now, data, right? So basically I can say, right, if data equals to 200, then return this access fully created, okay, else return failed to create. Okay, so all done. So now all these tools are ready for me. These tools are actually, I mean, these functions are ready. Now what I'll do, I'll be just going to create the tool, right? So first tool, I'll be just going to give a name, S3 name. I'll just going to give a name, S3 name. So S3 name is actually going to be created with this instance of this tool, and this is going to have couple of parameter like name, function, description. So let's write this names first, like name. I have to give a name for this tool, okay. So name is very important. So basically I'll just give a name. I'm just thinking, okay, so let's give a name, bucket names, okay, right? Then function, what function are we going to use? So func is going to be this function name, okay. So uh, when any bucket name related activities are required, it is going to call this tool, okay. And this is not a string, this is going to be like this, remember, okay, or else it is never going to work. So now main important thing, description should be self-explanatory, so the LLM should understand. So basically I'll be going to write use to get S3 bucket names, okay, from uh, uh, bucket names, maybe just to reduce the typo, I can just simply write bucket names using bucket name tool, okay. So this is done. So now I have to create another tool which is going to use this thing, right? Okay, here I just did a mistake, so it should be response, okay, done. So S3, what should I give name? S3 create, okay. So basically here the tool name I have to give a name, so maybe I can give bucket create, okay, okay. So here it should be this one, okay, right. Now the description, I have to write a description, okay. What is this? Strange. Okay, used to create S3 bucket, used to create S3 bucket using bucket create tool, bucket create tool, uh, tool as per the input name provided by the end user, as per the input is name provided for S3 bucket by the end user, okay. This is done. Now you have to create a variable, there's a list variable tools, and this is going to be S3 name, S3 create, Done. Now what we'll do, we'll be just going to create a variable called agent. So agent is going to be initialize agent. So first will be LLM, then okay, first will be tools actually. So tools, okay, tools LLM, right? Next thing will be agent ent underscore type. So agent type will be agent type dot, okay, so it should be 0 short underscore react description 0, okay, I don't know why this is not coming, underscore react underscore description 0 short react description, right, and the verbose equals to true. Okay, okay, so this is done. Now what we'll do, we'll be just going to check the buttons. So if st dot button means if the button is submitted, button is there and button actually pressed, so basically just write submit, submit, and then type equals to primary, right? Then I have to check if input is not blank. If input is not okay, then what is actually going to happen, response equals to agent dot run, okay, like this, okay, and then st dot write equals to response, okay, okay, cool. So I believe everything is fine, there should not be any error. So let's actually start working with the code. So first thing first, let's clear this thing. Okay, so everything is fine. Okay, so let's start with streamlit run main.py. So it is opening here, right? So what I'll do, I'll be just going to ask him how many buckets are there. I have total 4 and it should give me the bucket name. So write down the bucket names from my AWS. Okay, so let's see here what it is doing. Okay, so it is doing something. Okay, so it is saying that it is going to use this thing, and it's easily able to see here. It is actually able to get this thing easily, right? And let's see in the what is coming in the UI. So the bucket names from your AWS are this. Super cool. Okay, I'm actually amazed by the operation, though I developed this thing, but still I'm amazed. Like I send something like this, so underlying OpenAI LLM is so much powerful, so it understood like what operation it has to be used. So there are total two tools are there, right? We have total one tool and second tool, so it's automatically understand it has to use this. So now the next critical operation, right? So we have 4 buckets. So now I'll ask him to actually create a bucket. Okay, uh, create a bucket where bucket name is sample rag LLM for test 2024. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's see which, okay, it is using this operation only, bucket create. Okay, so it's done, the bucket name has been successfully created, right? So now let's see whether it is really created or not. So let's refresh the page. Oh my god, it's created, sample rag LLM test. See, super cool. So let's ask the another question. So same question, please down all my bucket names, right? It's doing, it's came here. It will come now. Yes, 1 2 3 4 5, super cool. I'm amazed by the like operation. So basically you can create very powerful AWS GPT with the help of this OpenAI LLM and Langchain. Okay, so my goal or intention is actually to enhance this bot and to commercialize this thing. So probably if someone is interested to work with me, so probably you can join me. We can work together and we can create something for the future. Obviously it will be an open source project, and initially don't expect for any like financial support. It's just for learning or just for just to actually help the community, right? Okay, so okay, with that note I'll be just going to conclude the video over here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying my playlist. So basically I have posted almost over 50 videos, so this is the 51st tutorial. If someone is actually watching our playlist for the first time, please try to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share our videos with your family and friend, because your one share actually going to help us to reach large number of audience base, and our ultimate objective is actually to reach large number of people so that YouTube algorithm can boost our video, right? So it's a humble and personal request, guys, please help us to grow. And I'm promising you that I'll try to upload more and more interactive and fun and useful videos for the future as well. Okay, so with that note I'll be just going to conclude the video here. We'll be going to upload more videos in the coming days. Till then, take care, goodbye, have a nice day and happy learning.